heathens. So we get told by religious people that there's this afterlife. We're going to go to heaven or paradise or whatever. And then we'll be there and we'll be with God, or we'll be in hell and tormented forever or whatever. This whole premise is based on the idea of having a soul. So if we're going to be having a soul, what's the point of having a soul and the point of everything that we did if we're going to heaven or hell and we don't remember what happened here on earth? Christians are often talking about how our cognitive thought means something. Because we have these feelings, because we can think and feel and all that, that proves God's divinity or some craziness like that. So, here's the thing. For all of that to be true, that means that when you die, all of your memories from here on earth go with you. Okay? Versus what medical science tells us, that thought occurs in the brain. Okay? So if thought does, in fact, incur in the brain, and then when you die, your brain goes away and it rots and decays with the rest of your body, then you wouldn't have thought anymore. Okay? Same way that having feeling, like me touching my hand, I can feel that because of the nerve endings in my hand, which then send the signal to my brain, and it lets me know that I feel stuff. But without my body, I wouldn't have nerve endings or a brain to feel or know that I'm being touched. So that kind of creates a problem, doesn't it? But let's say that it's true. Let's say that, okay, well that's how that works. That you can actually still think and feel in the afterlife. Well, is there anything that we know of from this world that disproves that idea? Well, let's say I had what's that thing called? When you can't remember stuff, like if you were to be in a bad accident and you had a brain injury, and maybe it gave you that thing where you can't remember, what's it called? Oh yeah, amnesia. Brain injury, brain malfunction, some problem with your brain causes amnesia. So without the brain, you don't have the memory of what had happened to you yesterday. Or, whenever. So, if that's the case, and we have pretty much figured out without any question, we know that a brain injury ceases your function to think in some cases. You no longer have cognitive thought. You can't think, you can't feel, you can't nothing, because you're brain dead, or whatever degree that it is. And we know that there are degrees to it. Maybe there's just a little problem because there's just a little bit of damage. Maybe there's a big problem because there's a lot of damage. But one thing's for sure, all of your thought, all of your cognitive ability, and all of your rationality and ability to think all come from your brain. And again, when you die and you leave this brain, you don't keep the memory because you wouldn't have the brain. So that pretty much means that when I die, let's say heaven and hell do exist, and I even have the ability to think after the fact, I won't remember this life. So what's the freaking point? Why even, why would God then want to punish you for making bad choices in the life that you don't remember? And there you are in hell, burning forever, being tortured with your new brain, your new central nervous system, or however that's supposed to work. I don't know how that works. But obviously you wouldn't have your old one, so you wouldn't know anything about what you did before. You just know you're there and you're being tortured. It's kind of like just punishing someone who's brain dead, or attacking a small child or an animal that just doesn't know what's going on. They don't understand. Is this the loving God you're trying to portray? Yeah. Don't take my word for it. Think for yourself.